1. If we live in a purely material world, then how do we account for the many supernatural experiences that people have, such as...
But yes, it's all in your head. If you're seeing ghosts and stuff like that, yes, it's all in your head. And yes, because we all have pretty much the same kind of brain and brain pattern, it would make sense that more than one person has had the same kind of experience. We have the same kind of brain. This is just logical. This is just makes sense. And if you think about it for a second, just a second, you would realize that you know, these things can be made up in your head. There's drugs that will cure these things. For people who see ghosts and spirits and stuff a lot, there are drugs and that will cure it, that will stop that, because it is an abnormal firing in the brain.
Where does all of the incredibly complex information come from that is stored within DNA?
Anyway, so off the cuff again, from a redneck trucker's point of view, keep that in mind. Okay. What about all the information that's stored in DNA? Well. How about all the junk DNA? How about all the fish DNA? How about we share 60% of our DNA with freaking trees? Trees! And you think all of life was created by a magical God that said, poof, here's a tree, poof, here's a man? I'll just make 60% of that. You know what? I'm so freaking lazy as a God, I will just take 60% of this tree and make it into a man. You know, what more proof do you need that we evolved from other simpler life forms than having tons of junk DNA? We got tadpole DNA, we got cow DNA, we got stuff in there that hasn't been used for 400,000 years. We have stuff in there that hasn't been used in 1,000,000 years. But it's still there because it just transmutes, it goes on and on down the line. But come on, how much more proof do you need that there is no intelligent designer than seeing all of the junk DNA that we carry around with us? If it is a designer, he ain't intelligent.
Humanity seems to have an innate desire and need to worship something or someone.
Why do we need to worship something? Why do we feel an innate sense to have religion? Because we feel all alone in the universe. Because we feel insignificant in our own world. We have to feel like there is somebody greater than us looking out for us. We have to feel that there is a place that we go to after we spend our meager little 80 or 90 years, if we're lucky. But we have to feel that there's a place that we can go to for all eternity, where we live on forever. You know what that's called? That's called ego. And it's really big in a lot of people, and that's what causes religion, is your own ego will not deal with the reality of the situation. And so it seeks to make up something external to it to give your life purpose and meaning and so on and so forth, which you can have a perfectly purposeful and meaningful life without having religion, by the way.
It would be extreme to assert God does not exist. To make such a statement, you would have to have complete knowledge and to have been everywhere in the universe. Maybe God dwells somewhere in the universe you don't know of or have not been to. Is that possible?
And most atheists would agree that there is no way that you can definitely prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that there absolutely, positively, absolutely is no God. However, the God that you believe in is another question altogether. The Judeo-Christian God is something that's easily refuted and easily disproven. And it has been time and time and time again ad nauseum on YouTube and in books and everywhere. So the God that you might believe in, the Judeo-Christian God or the Islamic God, he ain't real. He ain't the real deal. If there is any kind of God, it ain't that one. And it ain't any of the other ones that came before it. Ra, Thor, Odin, Circe, anything like that, Zeus, Apollo, all that. None of those were real, just like yours is not real. And only time will show that. Or intelligence. Learn a little more and you'll learn that your God is just as likely to occur as everyone else's, and that likelihood of occurrence is darn near zero.
What about the evidence of design in all of creation? It is obvious that anything that is designed has to have an intelligent creator.
You know, if I didn't have my glasses on, you'd be getting a face palm right now. This is just absurdity beyond absurd. The easiest way to take down the there had to be a designer. Well, who designed the designer? Oh, well, God just existed from nothing. Oh, well, explain to me the Big Bang again. Oh, well, you're saying that something came from nothing. What? It's the same freaking concept. Same exact concept. Although one is based in your head and the other one is based in reality. That's the difference.
Where does all the matter in the universe come from? 7. How do you explain?
All the matter in the universe comes from the universe, you moron!
In the changed lives of millions of people throughout history who testify to a life-changing experience with Jesus Christ. 8. How do we...
Yeah, and I testify that I've had a life-changing experience due to my lack of belief in God, and many thousands and millions of people have done so as well. That's not even an argument. It's a tit for tat. It's 1 equals 1. Get a better argument.
Count for the historical person of Jesus Christ. He has made such an impact upon history that we even measure out a calendar by him.
And how do I account for the historical evidence of Jesus? Well, find some first, and then we can talk about whether it's real or not. But by most accounts, the Jesus that is referred to in the Bible is probably not someone that ever existed. There may have been someone that he was modeled after, but it wasn't him. And I got a question for you. What about the pathetic, lackluster miracles that he performs? Cures 1 or 2 lepers, walks on some water? Come on, how lame. Fly there, teleport there, materialize there, you know, in the boat with the guys. They see you on the shore 1 second, and like Star Trek, you appear in the boat. See, that's the thing, is that our imaginations today are much better than the prehistoric hole-pooping cave dwellers that we came from. And so, if we were to rewrite the New Testament today, we'd do a much better job, and the miracles would be far more impressive than the lackluster, pathetic little attempts at minuscule miracles that are accounted for in the Bible. So if Jesus was a real person, he was pretty much a wuss.